And welcome to this edition of ACAP Today for Wednesday, that is, the 29th of April, 2020. I'm Jason Parent with the Aroostook County Action Program. Today we continue Community Impact Week, and we'll be visiting in just a little bit with Rachelle Roy from our WIC program, who's a repeat guest here on ACAP Today. And Jessica is going to introduce us to one of the families that the WIC program has benefited here in Aroostook County and hear about their very touching story. It's the Pickard family, and we'll be speaking with Mom Jessica Pickard in just a little bit. But before, as we always do on ACAP Today, we want to share with you some news and information that you can use as we all get through the COVID-19 pandemic together. We begin with today's news and information with the announcement as a result of yesterday's announcement by Governor Janet Mills of the extended Stay Safer at Home order. All ACAP offices and locations throughout Aroostook County will remain closed to the public through at least the 31st of May. We will continue, as we are with WIC and other programs, to deliver those services remotely, however, and do encourage you to keep in touch with us with all of the information that we will be providing, and the information on how to stay in touch with us is repeated regularly throughout this broadcast, and certainly at the end when we provide all of that information. We also, as of today, are launching this new fact sheet that we're distributing through Aroostook County schools, municipalities, and other community partners that offers specific services that are available to families during this period of time through COVID-19. As you can see from the flyer there, the WIC program is very prominent, as is the Home Energy Assistance Program, our Head Start program, and the COVID-19 Rental Relief Program. The brochure also highlights, or the one-pager also highlights the workforce development programs and the supports we can offer through that, as well as our tobacco cessation program. So 6 programs, but there are many more as well. And we encourage you, as you're seeing this, this flyer electronically throughout social media and other places, to reach out to us and ask about any of those services. One of the services we're offering for a limited time now is assistance with helping individuals to get their economic impact or stimulus payments through the IRS website. There's about a week left for the website. It will be closing within the next week, we're told. So if you have not received notification of your stimulus payment or are in need of assistance of applying for it, please do call our office and we will make sure that we can help you before the website closes. Our workforce development team are offering workshops, virtual workshops for workforce. The next one coming up is tomorrow, the 30th, Thursday, how to create the perfect resume. And then on May 7th, a week from tomorrow, the last one will be held. It's on interviewing tips. Please contact Kathy Williams at the email address on your screen if you're interested in signing up for either one of those virtual workshops. You can do it right from the comfort of your own home. We are announcing today, and we'll have more on this tomorrow when Greg Doak from our first-time homebuyer program joins us with one of his satisfied clients, that we will be offering that program online. Those classes are typically held in person. We'll be offering that program online Saturday, May 23rd via Zoom, and we want to encourage folks to sign up for that. To learn more or to sign up, email Greg Doak at gdoak@acap-me.org or call him on the telephone number on your screen. For all participants who successfully complete the first-time homebuyer program, there is up to $3,500 off of closing costs upon the completion of the class. So it certainly is well worth participating in the class for the benefit that happens at the end with the closing cost savings. We want to remind folks as well, as we did just a few moments ago, of the rent relief program offered by ACAP in partnership with Maine Housing. We have helped up until this point or processed 250 applications here in Aroostook County, and over $50,000 has been provided to landlords across Aroostook County to help individuals who have been economically impacted by COVID-19 to pay their rent. So please do consider, if you are in that situation for the month of May and having difficulty paying your rent and your income has been impacted by COVID-19, do reach out to us. You can call us, or you can visit the mainhousing.org website and apply right online, and that application will be filtered right through us and we'll follow up with you on that. We also want to remind folks that we do have a couple of openings here at ACAP. One of them is in the WIC program, a nutrition specialist position. We also have a career counselor position for a brand new program we'll be offering to help individuals in recovery connect with the workforce. And this all leads me to say that even though we're not able to have employees working on site, or for the most part not having employees working on site, we are hiring, and we are actually doing orientation virtually, and held our first virtual new employee orientation session today. So please do reach out and do look up those two positions if you have any interest in applying for either one of those jobs. As you'll hear in just a moment, working with the WIC team is a good time. So we'll want to see your interest in that position if you have the qualifications. The Home Energy Assistance Program, we've served or gone through about 5,000 applications that have been taken so far in Aroostook County. We are scheduling appointments in through May, in through June, and up to July 15th for this season. But please do be aware that if you apply for HEAP this season, that credit will stay on your account for a full year. So you may be thinking, why would I apply for the Home Energy Assistance Program as days are getting warmer? That benefit will be on your account with your fuel vendor in the fall when you want to turn the thermostat up. And we typically are booked in appointments from August all the way through January. So it's hard to get in at that time. We do encourage you to apply for that. And there is a special continuation of the program for families that have been impacted by COVID-19. If your household income has been impacted by COVID-19, that's going to be extended all the way through July 15th. So please do call us and schedule an appointment at your earliest convenience. Our community health programs, I want to remind folks that the typical drug take-back day that's held around this time of year, where folks are encouraged to bring their prescription medications all in at one time, is not happening because of social distancing, but they do want to remind folks to not let your medications end up in the wrong place. You can dispose at any time of unused, unwanted, or expired medications at your local law enforcement agency office, or by bringing them to a pharmacy drop box for participating pharmacies that have that service. A couple of last minute notes that I wanted to pass along to you today as well. Head Start and Early Head Start are in recruitment mode for the coming season for children and families that have women that are pregnant with a child all the way through children up to the age of 5 years old are encouraged to contact us and to ask about how they might become part of our Head Start program for this fall. We have centers in some of the larger communities in Aroostook County, but also a Head Start home visitor program. So even if you live out in one of the more rural communities, we can certainly connect you with a home-based Head Start. And speaking of Head Start, plans are currently underway for a summer Head Start program, which we will launch if it's prudent to do so. And we're allowed to have children in classroom to help the children who may have missed being in session in this springtime be ready for kindergarten come fall. So please do keep your eyes and ears peeled as we look forward to hopefully introducing a summer Head Start program really soon. So with that, that's today's news and information you can use. It's now my pleasure to welcome to ACAP Today. First, Rachelle Roy. Rachelle, welcome back to the program.
Thank you very much.
And next, I wanted to welcome Jessica Pickard, who along with her husband, Brad, have 3 beautiful children who we're going to hear about in just a minute after we start speaking with Rachelle. But Jessica, thank you so much for coming on and being willing to share your story with us today.
Most definitely. Thank you, Jason.
Okay, so Rachelle, let me start with you because we had you on a few weeks back. It doesn't seem like that long ago, but the days are kind of all blending together nowadays. Talk to me a little bit about WIC first and what folks need to know about this program. We've been talking about it a lot, and it's a program that folks can benefit from, especially right now.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. It's a income-based program. However, with the whole COVID-19 happenings going on, we certainly have expanded eligibilities as well. If you're experiencing all of a sudden changes in income, give us a call. We're a nutrition-based program. We support nutrition education. We do a lot with referrals to different things in the community, different social service providers and medical providers. We see women, not currently with the buildings being closed, but we support pregnant women and breastfeeding women, postpartum women, and children from birth to age 5. We also work a lot with grandparents that are raising children, grandkids. We work with foster families. You know, we do a lot of support with breastfeeding. We certainly have a whole lot to offer. So we really want to have families reach out to us so that we can help in this time of need.
And it is, that's indeed the case. I mean, it's not a program that folks have to be on throughout, although we certainly welcome the opportunity to stay with families in the program as long as they can. And certainly, Jessica, you're an example of someone who benefited from the WIC program when you did indeed have the need. And Rachelle was pointing out that folks may have the need right now. And so talk to us about your experience with WIC and how you came to the program and what benefit you received.
Most definitely. So a little over 2 years ago, Brad and I's youngest son, Eli, actually experienced a neurological reset. And so he had a lot of regressive delays, and he ended up developing low tone hypotonia. So this all in turn was a huge financial burden for our family. We were traveling to Boston and Southern Maine, trying to figure out what exactly was happening with our little guy. And with all of this traveling also involved a lot of testing. And he's now he'll be 3 in July, and we are just on kind of the downside of this all. He's doing wonderful, he's making great gains, but definitely during a time when there was so much uncertainty and financial burdens, WIC was a huge help for our family. And like I had mentioned to you, Jason, earlier, all of the ladies at WIC are kind of like a second family. When we go in, my daughter Adelie goes right to Rachelle's office, sits right in her chair and chats with her. And Beth is absolutely wonderful as well. She's super sweet. And Jenna, all of the ladies have been such a warm presence when we go in, and the WIC program has surely helped our family, especially during a time of so much uncertainty.
We're very proud of our family, and they are wonderful. Our ACAP family do great work, and we hear this not only from you, but from many, many parents and families who work with us. I want to be introduced to your family, first of all, because we started to talk about Eli, and you mentioned Adelie there, but we've got some pictures here that I wanted to share of your family. So introduce our viewers to your 3 beautiful children here.
So Bentley, my eldest, he's 9, and then Adelie will be 5 next Monday, and then Eli is the little guy in the red hat, and he'll be 3 this summer. And then the picture on the left, they're doing their morning yoga, which we've been doing a lot of during this time. So it's been great to kind of pass the time and keep our bodies moving.
And they are actually out with Dad, Brad, right now doing, I think, what they're doing in this picture. They're taking a walk, aren't they?
Yes. Well, they're going for a bike ride today. So Brad has Eli in the little buggy on the back of the bike, and Adelie actually just learned to ride her bike with no training wheels. So that's a big deal in our house. She's so excited. So they're out enjoying the beautiful weather right now.
Well, that is very exciting. They're beautiful children. I hope that they do make it back in time for us to meet them at the end of this interview. That would be really great. We had a young boy with one of a parent in our childcare programs on yesterday, and he was just a hoot and a riot. And I don't know what happened at the end of the video. Actually, his father, I said to his father, can he come and say goodbye to us? And the father reached up in the air to get, I don't know where the child came from, but he was just suddenly came right down. It was quite funny. So talk to me so that folks understand. I know that it's not typical right now because even if Adelie was in the program, she couldn't go and see Rachelle in her office because we're not there right now. But talk to me about what your time with WIC was like. What would a typical WIC meeting or appointment be like for your family?
So typically when we go right in, we were typically greeted by Beth. And like I said, she's kind of like our second family. I actually do her hair. So I've gone to her house before, and she's known my eldest since he was about 2 or 3 as well. And so we go in, and the kids just, they are very comfortable around the ladies there. And so when we do go into the office, I typically have Adelie and Eli with me, because before all of this took place, Bentley was in school. And so while I was chatting with Beth and getting everything coordinated, Adelie would go and hang out with Rachelle, and Eli would kind of hang with me for a little bit, or even go and sit on, they have like a cute little mat with some toys, or he would go and sit and play on that. And then Jenna was typically in the corner, so we'd say hi to her as well. So it was really nice. Like I said, they all make you feel very comfortable, and they're all very warm and welcoming. So it's a nice little WIC family. We really
what would they talk about in terms of information that was helpful for you, and what would they do with the children to ensure that the children are developing?
Yeah, so they would go through the typical questions, asking if there are any concerns and with their development. And I am still nursing Eli, so we never received like the formula checks for him. However, he does have milk allergy. So that was one thing that they could help accommodate us with, versus having like the typical milk in our checks. We could have something that would help him a little bit better. And if there were certain checks that maybe we weren't using, then she could take those off. And Beth would typically just ask if anything had changed, like within like our income, and just follow-up questions on how the kids are developing and how they're doing. Yeah.
Feeding a family of 5 is no easy task these days. It's very expensive, and you were, as you mentioned, you were going through the very challenging time with Eli and traveling a lot, and expenses for the family were high. What did it mean to you to be able to walk away from a WIC appointment and to have assistance to be able to buy healthy foods?
Such a huge relief, honestly. Like even with fruits and vegetables, when you think about it, and you want to be feeding your family healthy, but when you go to the store and you buy the typical fruits and vegetables you need, that adds up so quickly. So it was such a huge relief. And of course, our eldest, he's a growing boy, so he eats a lot as well. But we like to buy a lot of fruits and vegetables. That's typically what we like to buy. So just having those checks to help us was a huge help. Yeah.
So the process when you talk to folks about understanding what happens when you go to the grocery store and you have the, what are they, the coupons, not coupons,
yes.
But
yeah, the WIC checks. Yeah. So you would go in with your WIC book, and in the book, it actually has a list of certain foods that are within the, like what you're able to purchase, like different brands and quantity. Like there's a certain amount of like ounces for cereal and whatnot. Right now at this time, Brad has actually, I have not been to Walmart in almost over 2 months. So he's been my shopper. But so you would go through the book, and you have your checks that are slid into like a little pocket, and you can kind of turn. So if it says peanut butter, you can turn to the page that has peanut butter and see which brands that you are able to purchase. And you are able, the thing that I really like is that you're able to purchase organic fruits and vegetables, which is really nice. So it's kind of a nice little guide, and it shows you everything that you're able to pick up. And you don't have to get everything on your checks. So, and then on your fruits and vegetable checks, say that your check is for $9 and you happen to go over by a couple dollars, you would just pay the difference in whatever you go over. So when you go up to the register to pay, you'll just hand the cashier your book and the checks, and she'll go through, and it's kind of like checking out like you would when you go to the grocery any other time. And she, if there is a difference, she would just pay the difference. She would just tell you what it is. It's fairly easy. And the thing that I really like too is there are, like, we really enjoy going to graves, especially during this time, because it's a little bit more quiet, and everyone seems to be really nice when they are cashing you out. So, and they make it a pretty easy process. So,
has the process made you a more savvy shopper and a more health conscious meal preparer for your family?
Yes, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. Especially during this time, you know, like just with meal planning and making sure that we are purchasing enough that is going to last us for a longer period of time, but also that would provide us with multiple meals, and just trying to get creative, I guess. But the WIC checks have been a huge help, especially milk. I mean, my eldest is definitely a milk drinker, so, and milk is right up there in price right now. So it's been a huge help.
And add in cereal and recipes that you make with milk, you can go through a lot of milk real quick.
Very quickly, yes, most definitely.
What has it meant for you and Brad to have ACAP and WIC be there for you as in the time that you needed it?
Like I said, it's been such a huge relief. It's been one less thing that we necessarily have to worry about. I feel like just when you're so busy with everything else going on, and there's so many other worries with appointments, and right now we're doing Zoom therapy calls, and I feel like the days are passing so quickly. And when we've had, especially over the past year, so much to worry about, and to sit down at the table and go over finances and where we can pinch here and pinch there. Just having the WIC program and having those extra checks to help accommodate us with meals has been a huge relief, especially over the past couple of years.
Great. I want to know, first of all, how is Eli doing?
He's doing wonderful right now. He's still kind of like a medical mystery to many of the doctors here in Maine as well as Boston. However, he's doing phenomenal. He has not made any regressions, and he actually just recently started walking on his own independently. No more crawling, so he's doing great. He's busy, and he's trying to keep up with his big brother and big sister.
And so let me broaden that question out. How are his big brother and sister and you and Brad doing through these sort of really unusual times?
We're doing good. So Brad is still considered essential, which is very helpful. However, at the same time, having a member of your family working with the general public is also kind of concerning. So we're trying to take all the proper measures to keep him healthy, as well as all of us healthy. And Bentley, he's in the 3rd grade. So he has a wonderful teacher, and we've been doing all of his work. We just picked up his packet the other day of all of his schoolwork, and we typically have a Google Meet FaceTime call with his teacher and his class every couple of weeks, which is really nice, so he can stay in contact with them. And Adelie, she's not yet in school. However, we do a lot of really fun activities. We have sensory bins, and when Bentley's doing his schoolwork, she likes to do her school books as well. So they're doing great.
That's great to hear. Well, sit tight for just a moment. I'm hoping that Brad, Eli, Adelie, and Bentley will come back here in just a moment while I just chat briefly with Rachelle before we get your last thoughts in terms of anything you wanted to add or advice that you have for people to sort of get through these days and what's working for you and your family. But I want to turn to Rachelle and say that there are a number of individuals, at least in the last month alone, Rachelle, that have turned to WIC for assistance, as we would hope that they would, because we're there when folks need them, and especially in these times. So what has life been like for the WIC program since we last connected?
Life has been busy. You know, we've adjusted to doing phone appointments which it's interesting because people are getting much more chatty as we go, for sure. Because people are just tired. They're missing that interaction with people, which we do too. But yeah, I mean, it's busy. We definitely saw an increase in the number of people we're serving, which is wonderful. The more, the better. And just being able to connect them also, Jason, to a number of other services within ACAP has been huge, because a lot of people were, once they feel like they have an into one program, it connects all kinds of other programs for them. And they've been very thankful for the rental assistance program. And a lot of people have been we've been talking about the heat fuel assistance program as well, because as you said, it stays on there even into the fall, so they can access that then. So that has been huge.
Yeah, I would agree, Rachelle. And one of the things we're going to be focusing on moving forward as we get some additional community services block grant dollars coming in is to have some staff members, like a few staff members that are going to be transitioning into some navigator positions that are going to be able to help folks be the primary contact and connect with all of these programs, which is even more important today because we have many folks who have never turned to us for assistance before, who don't understand all that's available to them. So it's a very good point. What else would you like to say or share about the WIC program before I asked you your thoughts on advice for people to continue to persevere through these times?
Well, we do have a little coming soon thing to announce with WIC, which we're really excited about. And I'm not sure if we've told you about it, Jess. I'm sure we told you about it long ago, but it's actually going to happen this summer. We're going to be going to the EWIC cards, which is pretty fantastic. It's going to really streamline shopping where the vouchers will be gone and your monthly amount will be added to your card. And so you'll go in and you'll get what you need when you need it. So it'll still have to be between that certain time frame within the month. But if you just needed 1 gallon of milk, you go in and get 1 gallon of milk. You won't have to go in and use a voucher that says that you have to bring in 3 gallons of milk home, which is so huge for a lot of families for one, storage and just, convenience. So we really are getting excited about it. We're not sure how the training for it's going to take shape yet with all the stay-at-home orders and stuff, but it's going to be so wonderful when it's all done.
So EWIC coming soon.
Yeah.
Great. So lastly, Rachelle, and then I'll go to Jessica for her last words. What's your advice to folks out there that are managing through COVID-19?
Just try to stay as positive as you can, stay healthy, and get outside, get some air outside, not go too far outside your house. But definitely, get some fresh air and open the windows. Today's such a beautiful day, and it really just is good for the whole soul. So, and call us. If you need us, call us. We're here for you.
Great advice. And lastly, Jessica, what is your advice for families, young families like yours out there, just working to get through each and every day?
I would have to say, first of all, don't be afraid to ask for help. That's the biggest thing. I felt like for myself for a long time, I didn't dare to ask, and it finally came to the point where, I felt like we needed the extra help. And like I said, all the ladies at WIC, they are so sweet and they've been such a huge help. And every time we go in, the nice thing too is they always come over and they ask how Eli is and ask how how Bentley and Adelie are doing. So like I said, they really make it seem like they're our second family. But like Rachelle said, during this time, the biggest thing that has helped us as well, along with WIC, has been getting outside, getting the fresh air. And like she had mentioned, today is absolutely gorgeous. And I truly feel like when you're stuck between the walls of your home, sometimes our minds can wander. So just getting outside, grounding yourself, getting that fresh air is a huge help, especially during this time.
Great advice. Jessica, thank you for sharing your family's story with us and for being an advocate for other families and demonstrating to us that when you need help, please do reach out for help. I think that's the consistent message that you shared with us throughout this today. I'm sorry we didn't get to say hello in person to Brad, Eli, Adelie, and Bentley, but please do extend our hello to them. And hope that we'll be able to be present with them at our WIC team, at least be present with them really soon.
Fingers crossed.
Right.
All right, well, thank you, Rachelle, for all you're doing and your team's doing in particular time as well. Before we leave, folks, today we do want to remind you that one of the ways that you can keep in touch, or if you do need help and aren't sure what the resource is, go to aroostookcommunity.com or give us a call at 764-3721. The aroostookcommunity.com website will allow you to post a query of I'm looking for assistance or I'm in need of assistance in this particular area, what's out there, and a response would be posted. There's a network of folks out there that are able to respond to that query. There's also the opportunity for you to provide assistance if you, for example, are willing to deliver groceries to a shut-in elderly person's home and want to post on there that you're willing to do that. That connection can be made as well. So it's a place to give help and get help. And 764-3721 is the place to call if for whatever reason you can't access the website or just want to work over the phone with somebody. We can help you in that regard. And just before we show our photo of the day for today, I want to remind you that we're in this together. Do reach out at acap-info@acap-ne.org. Call us at the number that I've mentioned several times. Check out our Facebook presence. We have regular updates posted there, or visit us online. And lastly, an opportunity to visit our YouTube channel where there's some really great activities and some wonderful professionals throughout our organization that are doing everything from reading stories to children or leading activities for children that are available to individuals who are not part of our ACAP family. It's open to the general public. There's also previous editions of ACAP Today that are available for viewing on the YouTube channel. And then lastly, as we end each day, our snapshot of the day. This is actually a snapshot from a Zoom meeting held earlier today with U.S. Senator Angus King there in the fourth box down on the left for Maine Community Action Association. So colleagues from across Maine Community Action Association in various areas met with Senator King today via Zoom, as we're all meeting in this format these days. And we thank him for his time and all of our colleagues across the state for so clearly articulating our needs and sharing about the wonderful work that we're doing statewide with families like the Pickards. So thank you all for being with us today on ACAP Today. We'll see you tomorrow, where we're going to be talking about our home buyer education program and the new classes being offered, and at least one homeowner who certainly agrees that it's a wonderful program. So we're going to be back with you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.